visiting Rotarian, I suppose, if we have any tonight. Just a few reminder before we start. You'll be all, if the admin can put everybody on mute, so no one can hear you. You can keep your phone on if you want. Please keep on mute. This meeting will be recorded for the attendance and for our promotion of our club. And if you need to interact when the time is correct, you will be able to use a function, raise your hand. Meanwhile, please use a chat function so you can chat among your all the members on the Zoom. And now I call to order the fifth meeting of the Rotary year 2020-2021. President Dinesh, please, it is you.
Thank you, JP. Good evening. Honorary member Bhagwan, honorary members Pak Mohan, honorary member Shifan, warm welcome to you. Fellow Rotarians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, wonderful evening. We have many guests today, and most of them are prospective candidates for membership of our club. So I would like to give a collective welcome to all of you for joining our meeting today. And I'm sure you have been invited by our members, and I'm sure they will acknowledge your presence here. Thank you very much, and enjoy the evening with us. We are still waiting for our speaker, and I'll welcome her when she comes. It is my pleasure now to call upon past President Keith Harrison to raise the toast for Rotary International.
Good evening, fellow Rotarians. Good evening, President. I would like to ask you to raise your glass. I have one prepared here myself to toast to the grand institution of which we are all part, Rotary International. All right.
Rotary International. All right, Rotary International. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Keith. Okay, I would like to share my screen. May I now ask our Honorary Secretary Bridget to make the club announcements?
Yes, thank you, President Dinesh. For this week, I only have one announcement, which basically is that our first VRC meeting hosted by Dr. Chan will take place tomorrow evening, 7 to 8 p.m. The Zoom link has already been shared on the Club Runner email, and every one of our members is actually welcome to participate and check out what the committee's plans are. This is just my announcements from this week.
Thank you, Bridget.
Most welcome.
Thank you. I think our club has a fine distinction of having or carrying out projects worldwide using global grants. I think we have approval of highest number of grants in the district. This year, right from 1st of July, we already have 13 grants approved. I'm very pleased to inform you the 4 global grants have been approved only in the last week. And these are global grants, first time, I think, in project in Chittagong, Bangladesh. And I would like to thank Rotarian Adnan Ansari working very hard to get this grant approved. 82nd grant in West Bengal, and this is in response to COVID-19. Another, again, for the cancer awareness and vaccination program in Kolkata, India. 84th in RC Pune. We have worked with RC Pune in India. And this is again in the response to COVID-19 pandemic. For all these grants, I think we have to really thank Dr. Shahul Hamid, past president, in getting these grants approved and getting the partner clubs together to make these grants successful. And I'm sure we will be working on these projects to make them successful as soon as possible. Thank you, PP Dr. Shahul, for this. And this is again a gentle reminder, and I have already informed you in the last 2 meetings. This is the notice for nominations for the nominating committee. And we are calling for 4 elected members of the nominating committee. Closing date is 14th of August. And these are the requirements, should be in writing, should be received by 14th of August. In accordance with the club bylaws, the 4 elected members of the nominating committee must each have been members of the club for at least 3 years and must have been a member of the board of directors at least for 1 full year and have no arrears and dues. No person shall be member of the nominating committee for more than 3 consecutive years. If more than 4 nominations are received, a vote will be held. If the nomination is less than 4, the board shall have the power to fill any vacancy. Thank you. This is another Who's Who directory, Rotary year 2020-21. I would request all the members to send their updated photograph and latest directory information. Closing date 26th of August 2020. Please send the information to our Rotary office. Okay, birthdays, wedding anniversaries, and I have added achievements because we have a great achievement this time. And heartiest congratulations to our honorary member, Ko Chun Hui, for being conferred the Distinguished Service Order, one of the highest award on this National Day. He is our honorary member. Honorary member Chun Hui is chairman of Singapore Children's Society, a stalwart of social services for 4 decades. Congratulations. Please join me in congratulating him.
Congratulations.
We have many birthday celebrants this week, and 2 of them are today. A very happy birthday to Subhash Pritimani, if you are here. Bala Venkatesan also today. President-elect Simi Lee, you are here.
Friday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
This is on
birthday.
14th of August.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Dr. Tim Flippy, 15th of August. Rotarian Kizo Fujitake, 18th of August. And honorary member PDG Dr. Ivor, also on 18th of August. Once again, happy birthday to you. Many happy returns of the day to all of you.
Happy birthday.
Okay, there are no wedding celebrants this week. And we move to the next. I think for the Rotary International, the major project which has really made a big difference in the life of people in entire world is the End Polio Program. And we can be very proud of Rotary eradicating polio from the world, except 2 countries left, which is Pakistan and Afghanistan. Our district has launched a step of End Polio Campaign and call upon Rotarian Adnan Ansari to give you the information about this step of campaign for End Polio. Adnan.
President, just a quick one. Our speaker Sindu is with us.
Okay.
I admit her now.
Yeah, she's coming in now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, President Dinesh. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Good evening, everybody, respected honorary members, past presidents and Rotarians and visitors this evening. Welcome to you all. And my name is Adnan. I would like to familiar you with the forthcoming event the District 3310 have arranged. 24th October is the World Polio Day. Can I share my screen
Yes,
or?
Yes.
Okay. I think that way it will be easier for me to explain. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, it's the End Polio event this year. Usually, it's on 24th of October. But as you know, this year during COVID-19 lockup, most of us now restricted to our own residences and workplaces. So we cannot have a joint event as such, like other years in mass scale. So basically, this year they have started. The district has arranged for a step up and weight loss challenge. You can see on the screen the leaflet from the District 3310, and for this district, each club has been allocated a target. For Rotary Club of Singapore, since we have about 150 members, our target is to have at least 150 participants. But the good thing is not necessarily all 150 has to be a Rotarian. We can also invite our family members, friends of Rotarians, or any other friends, family members. Everybody is most welcome to register. The link is given on the screen right now, and I will also share it later in the chat box. You can have a quick view. As soon as you click the link to register, you will find a Google form. If you give your personal details, then you'll be registered, and minimum you should make a donation of $35, which is about 50 Singapore dollars. So I would urge all Rotarians to register right away by clicking this web link. And for the web link registration, it is just the registration for the participation. Eventually, for making the payment, you need to make the payment before 31st of October. And for payment, you need to log into your My Rotary web page, where you need to highlight or specify that this payment is meant for step up to End Polio. Otherwise, it will not be granted as donation for this drive itself. Otherwise, the second option is if you don't, some of the Rotarians don't have Rotary International credential. For those members, you can also go to our club website, and using even a credit card, you can make a payment online through our club website. There also you need to indicate clearly that it is the donation is meant for step up to End Polio. The third option is you can also write a check, indicating on the check, behind of the check, that this is meant for a step up to End Polio, and pass the check to our club secretary, Miss Bernie. So all these three options are open, but important thing to note that for each dollar we donate, it will be matched 200% by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. As you all know, for the End Polio, they have committed a huge donation to give us a backing.
Sorry guys, I have a call. I have a call in 5. So you have to take that from the hall because the internet is not working. Yeah.
Okay. So you can see here the registration procedure. And lastly, please remember to mention in your payment arrangement that it is for Step Up to End Polio. And finally, after you make the payment arrangement, please take a screenshot of the payment page and send by email to our club secretary, or you can WhatsApp if you're more convenient for you. You can send a screenshot by WhatsApp to my number, which is given on the screen, 91703343. Finally, one important point to note, basically this drive, what the district has arranged, it's a weight and step up challenge. Basically, each Saturday, I'll share another screen now, so you can see the rules and regulations. So each Saturday, we will have a system of reporting how many steps we have completed each week. And that way, the organizers will make a calculation for each members, how many steps we have, whether we have fulfilled our challenge or not. And these, the organizers from the District 3310 will create a WhatsApp group. And through the WhatsApp group, all the members can submit their weekly diaries. You can see on the screen now. It will start on 29th of August. Then each Saturday, we will have a photo submission by WhatsApp group. For those members who are not in WhatsApp chat groups or not used to use WhatsApp as a social media platform, they can directly send their screenshots using email. The email address is also given in the bottom. I will just bring it up to you. It's step up to end. You can see in the red, step up endpolio@gmail.com. This email also you can use to submit your diaries. So that's all from me for now. I thank you again, President Dinesh. I hope all the members will come forward with their donations. And please remember, it's basic need is $35 to donate, but it's not limited. You can make a pledge, whatever amount you can or you think fit for. But it's a very noble cause, and it's our major event. So welcoming all the members to join and register right away. If you need any further help, please feel free to drop me a line, or President Dinesh or the Secretary, Ms. Bernie, for further help or guidance. And I'll finish here. Thank you, Past President Tapan, and also Past President Shahul, for giving me this opportunity. I hope we'll make a significant contribution from our club to District 3310. Thank you. Back to you, President Dinesh.
Thank you, Rotary Adnan. Okay. All right. I think I'm very pleased to welcome our speaker this evening, Ms. Sindu Sreebhavan, who is the CEO of Many Minds and founder and chairperson of IYLIF, International Youth Leadership and Innovation Forum. And I thank you for accepting our invitation to speak. And I'm sure that you will hear more about her later. We have President of Jurong Town, President Taxing, just joining us. Thank you very much for coming. we were expecting PDG Andre today. Are you there? Okay, not yet. So we will back to our next segment. Now it's my pleasure to excuse me. All right, so the next segment is our Kaifa, Know Your Fellow Rotarian. And today we have Jessica Lim. She joined our club in 2016. She is one of the very, very active Rotarian, and rest I'll leave it to her to tell us about herself and about her vocation and how she contributes to Rotary. I give you Jessica.
Okay, thanks, President Dinesh. Let me share my slides. Okay. Rotary connects the world. Rotary brings hope. Rotary opens opportunities. Through Rotary, I've met incredibly humble and kind people. Who am I? I'm a Singaporean Christian. I've lived my whole life in Singapore, except when I did my degree in San Francisco.
Okay.
Like everyone in this club, I have a great passion to help those in need. And like most people, I enjoy traveling because it changes my perspective. Here you can see my picture taken in Prague last year before attending the Rotary convention. And on a separate trip, I felt incredibly blessed to be able to travel and visit Milan and Doha, because not many people have the money or ability to travel. My life's philosophy is to live life without regrets, and when in doubt, wait it out. What's important to me is that I meet and know people who are genuine, honest, humble, positive, and willing to try out things. So I'm currently working as an administrator at the Institute of Technical Education, ITE. In the last 20 years, I've worked in admissions, then employee innovation. Working in different areas has taught me to organize meetings and events, which in turn I'm able to contribute here in the Rotary Club. ITE is a post-secondary institution that focuses primarily on career and technical education. ITE offers 98 courses in 12 sectors with close to 30,000 students across 3 campuses and 26 staff. Most of our students are kinesthetic learners, so our courses are designed to be 70% hands-on, traits-based learning, and 30% theoretical learning. My volunteer journey started in 2009 after I lost my late husband to cancer. I figured, now I have time. I can do some volunteer work, since I've always wanted to volunteer, but was always caught up in some family commitment. So I decided to try going on a medical mission trip to Nepal. And after that first trip, I was hooked, and the rest is history. I went on to do more medical mission trips with the church, and until 2015, when PP Eugene Lim from RC Refusity invited me to become the secretary, and I learned how to organize trips. So I really enjoy planning and organizing mission trips, connecting with local partners, recruiting trippers, planning the program, thinking of ways to help the community, enhancing trippers' experience. And on the ground, I love showing love and care to the people we help, smiling to show that we care, genuinely guiding them, speaking in a caring tone. So for my Rotary journey, I knew PP Gary. So I've been seeing his Facebook posts on some volunteer events, and that got me curious. So one day I asked Gary, what's that about? So he invited me to the meetings, and after attending some, I decided that I want to join. I like how Rotary helps the community. I love the meetings, the fellowship, and because I've been helping the international community, through Rotary, I began to learn about the needs from the local community. So since I've joined, I've been involved in secretary work. I've helped YSC from 2016 to 2020, and this year I'm helping ISC, and I've been a CSC member since I've joined, except for last year. So this year I'm also helping CSC. So besides work, I've always enjoyed attending conventions and seminars. So the first was the Rotary Conference in Bhutan. Here you can see the group of us all dressed up in the local attire. I've also attended the Rotary Convention in Toronto, Hamburg, and the District Training Assembly. So if not for the COVID-19 situation, I would have attended the convention in Hawaii and Taipei. So I'm definitely planning to attend the Rotary Convention in Houston 2022. So when we meet in person, I look forward to reconnecting with everyone in person and working together on various projects and events. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica, for the wonderful work that you have done, and you are so active in various committees. And I think you are an example, and I'm sure all our members have heard what you have been engaged in. Dear members and guests, month of August is a membership month. This is a month which reminds us the importance of membership development. So I'll take just briefly, I'll inform you that what our membership committee is involved in, what we have been doing in last 4 to 5 weeks, and what the results are. Although it's a very only few weeks, but I think we have done quite a significant work and progress here. Membership is the bedrock of our club and is the most important to the running and renewal of our club. Membership growth in our district, I'm told, is less than 2% net. And even in our club, we had a number of new members last year, but the net growth was negative. It is a challenge how we can grow organically, retain existing members, and attract new ones. Our membership committee with PP Suresh, Kirti, as the chair, is working hard to attract new members and find new ways to engage our members. Although we have completed little less than 1.5 months of new Rotary year, we are in advanced stage of getting 7 new members, and we are likely to have 15 members joining by end of September. And how we are engaging the existing members. Most of the new members who have joined from the year 2018 till now will be in subcommittees of membership, public image, CRFC, and other, contributing with their ideas. This is how we will engage the members who are 2 to 3 years in our club. We have successfully started a Kaifer program. You just heard Jessica under Kaifer. Kaifer means know your fellow Rotarian. And this is, the feedback is quite good, and we'll continue this program right up to the end of the year, or maybe future. Rotary education is under planning, and especially for new members, we will start this activity next month. Rotary image and publicity committee is very active on social media, right from installation. We started live streaming successfully on YouTube. And we had extremely good attendance of the Rotarians outside our districts. We are having well-known speakers, and I'm sure today we have another speaker who is very well known, and I hope you will all enjoy. And this will continue. We have in pipeline many good speakers, world-class speakers in coming weeks and months. We are getting attention on Rotary International Group, which has got 700,000 members, and we are also on Rotary. We are Rotary with 40,000 members. We'll continue in our efforts to membership development collectively, and August month happens to be a reminder. Just to give you one example, the publicity which we did, or the live streaming on YouTube, we had 2 members proposed from their club in Australia, Melbourne, and also Lyon in France. So the respective presidents of this club informed us about 2 prospective members who are living and working in Singapore. And we find both of them are attending our meetings. So this is already giving us result. And this was just in brief to inform you what we have been working on membership development. And I once again thank our Vice President Suresh Kirti and all the members on his team working to develop our membership. In addition, as you all know, we have the Membership Classification and Development Committee, where all our past presidents are members, and this committee vets and endorses all the new members which are presented to them, and works very independently. So with that, we are sure the quality of our members, and I think these 2 committees will work, will complement each other, and we will have good membership development in a holistic way this year. Thank you. And that was in brief. And as I said last week, we are going to start a new segment. We couldn't do it this week. It is under progress, and which is will start next week, and that would be what's happening. So what's happening in behind the scene? even as all our service committee, what work they are doing. You are not the members, not everybody is member of all service committees, but not only service committees, we will talk about all what we are doing in membership committee or the club administration, and all these information in a proactive way will keep you informed. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'll move to the next. And next, I think, is the guest speaker. And before I hand over to for her introduction, and I would like to just mention today we have a very overwhelming response from our charming spouses. We already have Meera Kirti here, and our First Lady Rekha has also joined in, but I'm told that other spouses may not log in, or maybe listening together with their Rotarian husbands. So I would like to just welcome and all these spouses, and I will take their names, which I have the information, and I warmly welcome Kavita Vaswani, Meera Kirti, Rachel Yaplipki, Prabha Rao, Smita Gadgil, Tracy Mark, Anita Hathiramani, Bianca Nagarani, and of course, First Lady Rekha. Very warm welcome to them. It looks like the topic of our today's speaker has attracted them, but some of them have been in our past meetings also. So warm welcome to everyone.
Dinesh, Lakshmi is in also listening in.
Okay, thank you, Uttam. Warm welcome, Lakshmi.
Thank you.
So nice to see you, and good you are here. So that means it's a record number of our charming spouses attending today. So you will. Yes, Lakshmi, you were saying something. Thank you.
My wife is also online.
Okay. Who said that?
Keith.
Keith.
So
Okay.
Rachel is online.
Keith Harrison.
Thank you. So we have another. I think it's really fantastic attendance of spouses, and I hope they will continue. And this is really the flexibility of Zoom. Then they have selected to come in just before our speaker starts. So yes, there are a lot of advantages, and we see having online meeting and flexibility is really great. All right, so next I would like to now ask our Vice President Suresh Kirti to introduce our speaker. Suresh.
Yeah. Thank you, President. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce to you our speaker, Ms. Sindu Sreebhavan, who's going to talk about how to make our children future ready in uncertain times. A very topical talk today on the International Youth Day, which is 12th of August. Sindu happens to be a founder and a best-selling author for a book called Infinite Possibilities for Superachievers. She's a speaker, design thinker, innovation, educationist, and a reformer. Sindu Sreebhavan is a CEO of As Many Minds and the founder of chairman of International Youth and Leadership Innovation Forum called IYLIF, and the co-founder of Her Own Voice. She is a speaker, edupreneur, author, coach, and is passionate about women empowerment, education, and youth development. Sindu's passion is in coaching people, educational institutions, and organizations with personal mastery, growth mindset, and innovation so that they can uncover their infinite possibilities and discover their breakthroughs. With IYLIF, she brings youth leaders from around the world to share the table with teachers, industry experts, and thought leaders to reimagine youth leadership and education. As I said, she's a graduate from NUS MBA. She's got a second MBA from UCLA Anderson, and she's done women leadership and empowerment in Said Business School in University of Oxford. I welcome Sindu Sreebhavan to take the floor. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Have a very good International Youth Day. And thank you, Mr. Suresh Tirthi, for the warm welcome. And thank you, Mr. Dinesh Sharma. It's wonderful to be here. And thank you, Suresh, for the invite as well. Now, it's wonderful to be speaking about a group that I'm really passionate about working with and developing. That is the youth. I work with youth, I work with teachers, I work with executives as well. But the demographic I am really interested, inspired, and passionate about working with is the youth. Here is the reason. Number one, you can see them transforming right in front of your eyes. Number two, you can be inspired with their ideas and all that wishes and aspirations and visions they have for the future. So youth is our current and our future. So now, this year we are celebrating International Youth Day in a way very different from we have ever celebrated before. And if you look at this year, the challenges faced by the youth are different, and our aspirations for the youth are also different. Think about this. Last year, we were worried about how to take our youth out from their devices. And this year, we are telling them and we are pushing them towards their devices and asking them so that they can complete their schoolwork. So the world has changed dramatically in the last 6 months. So that is the premise for today's talk. As part of the initiatives by As Many Minds, we do have programs for youth, teachers, and so on. And basically, our aim is to reform education, reimagine education, so that we can make our children future ready. We also organize the International Youth Leadership and Innovation Forum, ILIF. And at ILIF, we bring all stakeholders of education together. That is students, teachers, industry experts, and parents from around the world. So we can have a dialogue between all these parties and reimagine education and youth development. And we also train teachers, we train students in public speaking, in growth mindset, in innovation skills and study skills and so on. Now, let's step a little away from the youth and look at the current global situation. If you look at COVID, it has completely changed the world. Completely in the sense that we can't ever go back. So here is the thing. Think about this. Last year, you used to operate your businesses and your work. Is it the same today? Last year, you used to network with other people. Is it the same today? And look at the events, like look at your meeting. It is entirely different. The way the education is conducted and taken has also changed dramatically within the last 6 months. And many people say that we can go back after a vaccine or a medicine is developed. Do you think it's possible? Think about this. We need these pharmaceutical firms to develop that. We have to give them time for that. And secondly, think about the time it takes to administer this medicine or this vaccine to 7 billion people around the world. It takes some time. So what it means is that during that time, the world is not going to stay and wait for it. It will catch up with the current and it will have more innovations to go with the current. You might have seen that a lot of tech companies, tech giants have told their employees that they don't need to come to the office anymore for the next many months. They can work from home. And so what it means is that, and another interesting fact is that if you just do a Google search for job opportunities, you can see that many opportunities that come with the location as anywhere in the world. So what does it mean? It means that you can work for a company in Singapore. You will get paid there. You will get you might pay the tax there, but you will be staying in your home, maybe in South America, and working from there. So what it means is that COVID has brought a lot of challenges, and it has also opened up a lot of possibilities. We are not, although we think that there is social distancing measures and so on, the world has suddenly become narrower or suddenly become isolated. Each country has become isolated. Actually, in a different way, it has united. So now let's go back to our children, okay? So our children who are in the school, and before that, okay, just to establish my credibility, I have been working in management consulting for many years, and then I had this strong urge to reform education. I sat on that idea for many years, like 3-4 years, and finally I felt that nobody else is solving the problems that I have identified, and I was waiting for that. And then why don't I start it? That's how I started about 7 years ago. And now I have written many books, and I started with innovation. And then I realized that innovation can't happen without the right mindset. And then I jumped into the mindset area. And so I have written many books, and I have also written many resources. And I have worked with in the education space, developing youth, developing teachers, developing curriculums, and so on. So, and I have some of my books are here, and if you would like to take a look, you can just go to this webpage and take a look. And these are some of the resources that I have made over the years for children. Now, here is what I would like you to do. I would like, whenever you see or you hear something that is an aha moment for you, something that is new for you, but something that you knew, but you can see it from a different perspective, please note it down. If you would like to share it with others, you can use the chat box here, or you can keep it for your own benefit, okay? Now, the current generation that is in the school is called Gen Zs, as in Gen Z. And they are the true digital natives. So who are these Gen Zs? The oldest of the Gen Zs, they are 24 years old. And the youngest of them are 5 years old. They are actually born with a device in their hand. Their parents have been taking note of their daily developments in an electronic form. So, but some people say that these are the spoiled generation, or these kids are slave to the virtual world. So now, let's take a look at them and see what they do about how they are and what they do. You see, I boast about having an undergraduate degree in computer science and engineering. But then when it comes to new technology, when it comes to new apps, it's my children, the Gen Zs, who just come, just look at it, and they teach me how to go about that technology. You see, the thing is, they intuitively know how to work around technology. So technology is not something of a burden to them. They use technology as a tool so that they can conduct their daily business. However, their nature is very different. Okay, you can take note of the points that I make. And if you have a Gen Z child, or if you have, if you know Gen Z child closely, you can observe these things for them. So number one is that they genuinely care about the world. Remember those projects that they were doing in kindergarten, like pollution, the recycling, and the greenhouse effect, and so on. They did really impact them. So they truly care about the world. And also, they truly care about causes. So let's look at the way they look at prospective employers. They look at prospective employers in such a way that they want to choose an employer who is standing for a cause, and they want to align with that cause, and that employer truly does it. And then the second thing is they can contribute something to the organization. And the third thing is they will also get remunerated for that. So these are not the kids who would say, I don't care about money, I care only about world peace. So here you see that they are a lot similar to millennials, but at the same time, they are a lot different from the millennials. And although they are digital natives, they would like to have human interactions. That means if there is a conflict, they would like to have that communication between the parties and solve the problems. So this is an extremely special generation, and researchers have been studying this generation. And what we can see from this generation is that these are people who are pragmatic. They are a mix of Gen X and millennials, and plus some X factor. But because they are Gen Zs, let's say some Z factor in them. So these kids, however, they are also going through some of the challenges. For example, Gen Zs have reported the highest rate of mental health problems reported ever compared to in terms of the rates compared to other generations. They are stressed. They are stressed due to several reasons. They are depressed. They have peer pressure. They have, there is a high rate of kids abusing substances like drugs and alcohol and so on. They also have social pressure, online and offline. That means one example is sexting. And many studies have shown that some kids start sexting because of peer pressure. Everyone in their circle is doing so. I also want to do because I want to be part of it. I want to fit in, right? So they are going through several different challenges. But what kept them moving on, what kept them moving on was their affinity towards a brighter future, to change things, but at the same time being real and getting remunerated and having a good life. But now the education world has changed. Everything has changed. Think about it. When you were of their age, below 20, have you ever gone through such a situation in your life? A global catastrophe, and that is affecting everything. In many cases like war and so on, it affected in certain cases, but there are not many people around us who have gone through that experience of going through such a catastrophe that in a global level. So these kids now, it's in our hand. Being pragmatic, they can take both routes. They can take their choice. They can say that, okay, I will remain pragmatic. I will take a conventional route, and then I will do whatever I'm supposed to do. And that was shared by my parents. But it doesn't look like that's going to help them. Here is some of the reasons why it wouldn't happen, or it may happen, but there's high likelihood that there will be a different scenario. if you look at the kids today, especially those kids who are of the college-going age, many of them have lost scholarship because of COVID. You might have read in the news that United States is not issuing student visas to overseas students if those courses are available online. You see, many students, many kids were planning for these college days, having this dream for joining this particular college or university. And then it's not just about learning, it's also about the experience. Even in Singapore, we have many students who go out to US, UK, Australia, and other countries to get educated. And that's the case with a lot of students from the Asia region as well. So for them, the life has changed all of a sudden. And then the next thing is that because of this imminent innovation that is coming in the education space, I can actually boldly say that in a short span of time, the recruitment is going to be based on skill sets rather than qualifications. So what does it mean? It means that the kids need to pick up those skill sets. So if you are just focused on getting a good academic degree, it may not be viable. It may not be it may not be sufficient for getting a job of your choice. So these are some of the challenges or some of the things that we should be looking out into while mentoring, supporting, and helping our children in this new world of post-COVID world or new normal. Now, so what you can do with your kids is that number one thing, when you talk about academics, the learning is going to be a lifelong process now. More than academics, what these kids need now is to be able to know how to embrace the current challenges and how to look forward to the future. And if you can do that as a parent or as a youth developer or as a teacher, that would be a tremendous help that you can give to those children. So embrace the challenges and find a way to charter through the muddy waters. So how can we do that? So here are 6 skills that I would like to share with you. Number 1, the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Innovation is going at a very fast pace. So now we can't think about, like the time that we were studying. We studied something, we got the job. And since innovation was going at a slower pace, many of the things that we learned, we used, but we know that whatever we learned, that was not sufficient. Our first employers had to train us in many different ways to equip us to do our job. So, but in the new world, learning and unlearning is also important, and relearning. So they need to do all this very fast. They have to learn something new. They have to apply that. They have to demonstrate that. And then after that, they need to relearn, and then go. So what they need is the ability to learn. What are the quick ways to learn? So some of the things that comes as part of this memory skills, focus skills, and in terms of other skills like time management skills, prioritization skills, and so on. So, and in Singapore, these are all of those go under learning skills or study skills. Now, number 2 is emotional intelligence and mental health. We know the importance of mental health in these kids. And being able to understand their own emotions, that is important. And especially when in today's world, when they are not in much interaction with other kids, even if they go to school. And in the schools also, there are some policies about interacting with other kids. So their interactions, human interactions is limited. So they need to identify, oh, why am I stressed, for example, or why am I feeling sad, or I am feeling sad, I am feeling happy, I am feeling stressed, but why? What is the reason? So thinking about their thoughts, that is important. So, and then empathy, what others are feeling, all these are important for them to pick up, to help their mental health remain agile. Now, there is also another reason. You might have read in the news that emotions are the final frontier for artificial intelligence. So everything that we can say, this is the standard operating procedure, SOP, for something that can be replicated as a program, as a technology, as an artificial intelligence program. So but about emotions, about our response to emotions, that is not yet conquered. As humans, we haven't been, although we know a lot of theories, we don't know how to predict. And those are the places where in the future, we will have more of human interactions or human involvement. So I have read somewhere that in the future, the CEO is going to be an artificial intelligence program or a robot, but that CEO will be enhanced with human intelligence because as a decision maker has to make decisions based on emotional factors. So that is where the human involvement comes. Now with COVID, the technology and the possibilities are going up because we have seen that the possibilities are more. We have seen that we have to implement technology. Our resistance towards technology has almost become null. So now a lot of people are half the time, half the idea, as well as getting investment to invest in technology. So it means that our kids should be able to, one of the areas where our kids can help and support is emotions. So this is for their own mental health as well as for future career needs. Now the next is communication skills and expressing ourselves. That is very important. And expressing, not just expressing ourselves effectively. That is important, isn't it? Think about this. Our attention span is, according to new studies, it is lower than even that of the goldfish. And so people don't have time for everything. Everybody is busy. So if we have to get anything done, we have to convince someone within a very short frame of time, whether it is for interviews, whether it is for selling a product as part of a proposal or anything. So communicating effectively is extremely important. And that effectiveness also comes with the confidence. I have the confidence about this idea, so I am communicating it. And that communication could be verbal communication or communicating in any other mode that is suitable for that particular context. So it's interesting. We have public speaking programs and for children. So we have seen that after attending a public speaking program, after delivering their graduation speech, many kids do other things that are outside the public speaking. For example, timid kids, they go ahead and they will become, and we have seen them becoming student leaders. And then we have also seen average academic performers going and becoming top scorers in the class. And when the parents told us this, we asked them, why are you telling us, saying thanks to us for that? And they say that it's because it's from the confidence that they gained from that public speaking skills, that and the ability that they were able to understand that they can learn something, they can blossom and they can grow. So communication skills is essential, because otherwise they are going to feel that I have all this idea and nobody is listening to me, and that might put them into depression as well. Now, creativity and problem solving. So here is the thing. Now, in the new world, in the new normal, everything is going to be innovation. Because these kids, Gen Zs, are going to solve everything, every big problems that we are facing, whether it is COVID, whether it is global warming, or whether it is pollution, population, or anything, because they need to do that. Otherwise, their survival or their children's survival is a problem. And also think about this, they are people with a good sense of ownership for their cause. So they will make sure that they will that they need to innovate. Now, for that, creativity and problem-solving skills are essential. So here's the thing. When we started, we have innovation programs. We use design thinking, which is an innovation methodology from Stanford University. We started doing that here in 2013. And we have collaborated with many people like Science Center Organization, Science Center Singapore, the commander of the International Space Station, the paleontologist behind Jurassic Park, and so on. So during, but it was, everybody was extremely excited about it, but the parents, as well as even, to a certain extent, schools also didn't think that that was important. But we had that faith that this is essential. We kept on working on that. And 5 years later, in 2017, MOE, Ministry of Education, announces that, okay, creative problem solving and innovation skills are essential for children. We need to include that as part of our curriculum. And then our program became a hot item. It's a hot cake. The Straits Times came, featured us for our contribution in the field, and so on. But the thing is that we were ahead of our times, but it was good because we were able to test out things, we were able to understand things, we were able to polish things, and so on. So if you are teaching any of these skills to your children or students, and if you feel that it's not needed now, have confidence that this is what will enable them to be to be ready for their own future. So now the last one is having a growth mindset. I don't know how many of you know, or whether you know or heard about growth mindset. Many of you might have seen this two categorization of this is what people with a growth mindset do, and this is what people with a fixed mindset do. So basically, people with a growth mindset, they believe that I can change myself. I can change the way I am. I can create my own possibilities. But the people with a fixed mindset, they think that this is the way I am born. I don't have much influence in my intelligence or in my talents or in the way I behave or my habits and so on. So people with a growth mindset, by the thing, they know that I have got billions of neurons in my brain. Neurons are the cells in our brain. I have got billions of neurons in my brain, and it is up to me to enable the connection between those neurons. Basically, it's a connection between the neurons that is called the wiring, the neural wiring, or we say brain wiring in our brain. Basically, that actually happens, physically happens, and there is no limit for us to make as many number of connections and as many number of neural networks, that we need. So so they have that belief that, okay, I am just like anybody else. I am not lower than anyone else. I am not bigger than anyone else. It is up to me how I want to make those neural connections and make myself a better human being or more intelligent person or more talented person. So, but brain is also like a muscle. Think about it. If you need to strengthen your core muscles, you need to work out. It's not just about any workout. You need to do the right workout, the right way, the right exercise, the right way. And that doesn't mean that if you give that, do that exercise, those core muscles will suddenly pop up. You have to give it time. So that is the case with our brain as well. We have to help our brain to establish those connections by doing the right things at the right time, in the right frequency, again and again. So I mentioned about the paleontologist earlier. His name is Jack Horner. Jack Horner is probably one of the most celebrated paleontologists in the world. His contribution to paleontology is amazing, and many of the things that we know about paleontology is because of his findings. But the thing is, and he's also the advisor to all the Jurassic Park movies. And you can see glimpses of him in all or in many of those movies as well. Now, here's the thing. He does not have a degree. He is severely dyslexic, so he did not get a pass mark in his undergraduation. He doesn't have a PhD, and he faced a lot of problems with the academic world because of the lack of all these things. So I have actually featured him in my book, Infinite Possibilities. When I interviewed him, I asked him, how did you come this far? And his answer was, stop reading.
The whole thing frozen.
Sindhu, I think your thing is frozen.
Where's Sonali?
I think there's some problem at her end in terms of connectivity.
I text her.
She's still okay. I think she got disconnected.
I think her internet must have died.
Yeah. Yeah, she just dropped out.
She's trying to reconnect.
Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, she's trying to reconnect. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, you're back.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, but my computer is still not able to connect. So sorry about
You have
that.
to learn and relearn.
Yes.
Oh, you were at Learn and Relearn? That is where you were? No, I just wanted to know because I'm calling from my phone, so I don't know. I mean, I can't project it anymore. But I would like to know until where you heard. What was the last thing you heard?
That was about your book where you had this wonderful man who learned.
John Horn.
Oh yeah,
Jack Horn, yeah.
Okay, so Jack Horner is a person who, he was severely dyslexic, but he had achieved all those accolades anyone could get in the paleontology world, although he didn't have a degree or a PhD, and he faced severe discrimination from his, from the academic community because of the lack of his degrees. And he says that don't stop reading, but start doing. Because that is his way. He can't read, so he come up with a new strategy to learn. He came up with a new strategy, and that helped him to be on that, to be on the top of his game. So this is all about the neurons we have in our brain. So if our children know that I am able to create trillions of connections in my brain, they will get the idea that, okay, I am shy, no problem. I can come out of it. I need to brush up my math skills. Yes, I can do that. I need to brush up my communication skills. Some people say I can't be a salesperson, or I can't speak in front of an audience or give a public speaking and so on. But the thing is that all of us can do anything. I'm not saying we can all become the best in the world, but we can. Think about Joseph Schooling. Joseph Schooling, he was not get selected. He didn't get selected in the first try for the national team. And then he could have just said, they didn't select me. Let me just sit down and cry over it. But he realized that I need to change my strategy. I need to be, I need to do more of training. I need to pick up my mental strength and so on. And so that helped him to be placed in the national team again and be a winner there to bring a gold medal to our country. So the kids, what they need is the mindset. So I have shared 5 skills here. The first one was about learn, unlearn, and relearn. The second one was the emotional intelligence and mental health. The third one was creativity and problem-solving skills. Fourth was communication skills, effective communication skills. And the fifth is the mindset, having a growth mindset. If you choose one among all these 5 skills for your child, that should be the growth mindset. Because if your child can pick up the growth mindset and practice a growth mindset in his or her life, everything else will follow. So having that perseverance, having belief in their abilities, doing the right work and smart work and so on, which will help them. And when we do teach children, and when we teach children, we can see their eyes pop up, right? When they realize, oh, I have got this potential, I can do this. I used to have this dream, but I used to think I'm not good at this and that, but I won't be able to reach there. But now they know that it is unlimited. It's infinite possibilities that are waiting for them. So they are able to come to that realization that I am not a limited being. I am an unlimited being with unlimited possibilities. And we teach teachers in implementing growth mindset in the classroom. We consult with schools to implement, creating a growth mindset culture. I also consult with corporates on that. And here is the thing. We started that practice in 2014, but the thing became hot only in 2017. And I used to wonder why, this is essential, why nobody is interested in this. But again, we have to go back to that thing that we were ahead of our time. So if you are ahead of anything, if you have a strong belief in something, or if your child has a strong belief in something, or if you're trying to help your child to pick up something that is ahead of the time, don't worry about it. You're using that time to polish and perfect it. And today we are one of the best, if not the best, in teaching teachers growth mindset here. So there are a lot of tools, techniques, and framework in all of these 5 things that I shared. But here is the thing, we don't have much time. This is a short session, so I can't give you a lot of information on that in this session, but we have another session coming up, which is also a free session, but it's a longer session. Let me see whether I can share the link with you for that. So you can go and just sign up for that for your child, or if you think this will be used for any other child, you can actually share it with them. But we have only 30 seats and we already have 18 people, and it's on the 22nd of August. It's a Saturday. So let me check the link for that. FYMC. So I have sent the link to in the chat. So if you are interested, you can take a look at that and you can register for it. It's a free program. The only thing is that both child and the parent should be there, because it's a section for both children as well as for parents. Okay. So your child deserves a future of infinite possibilities, and there are ways to make that possible, to get to unlock their real potential, make them realize their real potential, and they themselves taking the responsibility of paving the way towards their own infinite possibilities, discovering their infinite possibilities and achieving their unlimited potential. And I wish you all the best for that, for supporting your children as well as supporting the youth. Again, wish you a very happy International Youth Day. I would be happy if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer that.
President Dinesh, are you on? Do we still have, we were running way out of time, so we lost a bit of the audience, unfortunately. Do we still have time for a few questions? What's the mood? Anyone saying anything? I think then I decide. We just go, we have a few questions here in the chat. So I think, let me just go up and ask. We have a few questions from Rotarian Irina. Irina, can you just sort of unmute yourself, please, and ask, because you ask about what is unlearn and why is it important and so on and so forth, because it's all about getting that into a practical type of environment.
Yes, thank you, Brigitte. Yeah, I would like to, I have a question about these theoretical questions like learning and learning. Learning, I know, yes. 10 grandchildren, I know what does it mean. And but what actually the practical part of understanding and learning, what it is, how you actually implement that theory into practice. If people who are really in this part of education thinking about it, it's maybe some kind of important part which we have to learn. Relearn, to me, it's really has some sense, but unlearning, it's a little bit, something difficult to understand.
Yeah, understand. Are you an educator, Irina?
Yeah. I was a teacher at university for many years. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good question. So here's the thing about unlearning. As I mentioned, technology innovations and disruptions are changing on a very fast-paced manner. So and according to some researchers, a university student who is in the universities today, at the end of the 4th year, they would have whatever they have learned, a high percentage of that would become obsolete.
Yeah.
So the thing is that now they need to have that mindset that, yes, I learned this, but there's a new way to do this. And so I have to adapt myself to learning new. And I can't just say that, oh, I learned it this way at school, or I learned it this way in year 1, and so on. One example is I mentioned about neuroplasticity earlier. I didn't use the word neuroplasticity. The word neuroplasticity means our brain is like a plastic. That means we can mold it the way that we want, like a plastic. And that's a term neurologists have given to brain. But here is the thing. Until like 20, 30 years ago, even the neuroscientists used to think that our intelligence and our talents are limited. We don't have much leeway with influencing it. And now they're saying that we have unlimited possibilities when it comes to neural wiring. And there's another study that is coming up is 97% of our brain is junk. DNA is junk. And some scientists are claiming that we can actually program our DNA, that 97% can't be junk without a reason. So they're saying probably that's for us to program it. So these are things that means science is evolving. And we are discovering more and more things. Technology is evolving. We are innovating more things. So we should have that mindset to unlearn what we learned, or understand that what we learned earlier is not exactly the right thing. Now we need to learn new things. So it's about the mindset, having that mindset to see things from a different perspective and learn things from, and keeping on learning. So creating that attitude of lifelong learning. That's what it means, actually.
And I think there's another question from JP. JP, you have a question about at which sort of age one would apply which kind of thinking.
Yeah,
JP, are you still there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah,
good evening. I was wondering at what age your program starts, and how do you adapt according to the age? Obviously, the neuroplasticity is changing over time. You get less, you can mold less as you grow older. So how do you adapt, let's say, from a young age to maybe teenage years and so on?
Are you asking that how as a parent you can help your child?
As a parent, or in your programs, or in your school, if you call it.
Right, okay. Number one, as a parent, you can start it as early as you can. In fact, from the time they are able to pick up things, in fact, from the time they are able to hold a milk bottle, that, letting them grab it by themselves. When they try to walk, if they fall down, encouraging them, giving them the right praise words, saying them, praising them with the process, and then so that they know that, oh, it's not the outcome, it's not that I'm a superhuman who is able to walk, but it's that I tried, so I was able to walk. And for one of the things that we always in fact advise parents is that, a lot of parents, when the kids come back from school, they ask the kids, what, did you eat? how was the school, and so on. But one question that you can ask the kids is, what did you ask today in the class? See, that changes the whole perspective. That gives that message, subtle message to your child that asking questions is important and it is allowed. And then later in their life, they know that, okay, asking questions, they don't need to force themselves and so on. And there are so many interesting tactics that we can use on a day-to-day basis when it comes to developing neuroplasticity in our children. So doing the right praise, that is excellent. Another thing is, for example, when you say, many kids and adults have this habit of saying, I cannot, I'm not able to, I don't know, and so on. But instead, you can actually use a very simple word, a 3-letter word. It is Y-E-T, yet. That changes the whole perspective. I don't know it yet. That means you are not closing the door to the possibilities. You're keeping that door open. So that means I can learn it later. And how do kids learn it? They learn it from their parents. Then they learn it from their environment. So if you practice that, your child will get it. When it comes to our programs, our programs start at the age of 7. And we say that we teach everyone from 7 to 107. Yes, that is where we start, and we tweak it based on the age group, based on, we have many activities and so on. So based on that, we do that. So if you can attend that session on the 22nd, you will get to know more about that.
Thank you. I think due to the time constraint, we cannot take more questions. May I ask Rotarian Vineet to give word of thanks?
Sure. Thank you, President Deepak. Sindu, President Dinesh, my mistake.
It's okay.
I'm too excited. Sindu, first and foremost, I must say your talk couldn't have come at a better time for me personally, because I'm a father of 2 Gen Z children. I'm sure all the listeners today could feel your passion and care about the youth, and also the expertise in the area of coaching children or youth. At the start of your talk, you said we can be inspired by the youth, and your talk showed why and how we can be inspired by them. The 5 skills which you mentioned are indeed a great summary, and I feel very excited and motivated to engage with not only with my children but youth in general, to help them develop these skills and to maximize their potential. All in all, that was a fantastic and engaging session. On behalf of Rotary Club of Singapore, I wish you all the best to carry out the fantastic work you are doing as an author, coach, consultant, and so much more. I would like to thank you for your presence at the meeting and for sharing your valuable insights with us on a very relevant topic. And so, dear members and guests, let us all give Sindu a very big round of applause. You can
Thank you, Vineet.
Thank you. Yeah, back to you.
Thank you, Vineet. I think our next week's speaker is Professor Sattar Bhavani, and he will speak on leadership in disruptive time. So I think before I close the meeting, I would say that we used to have a few minutes of fellowship after this, but today time is, I think, running out. So I would say if